I reached there and I'm in shock. I'm like, what? Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel, and of course, thank you so much for clicking to watch this video. If you're watching me for the very first time, my name is Naka. I am from Kampala, Uganda, East Africa. Oh yeah! If you're from East Africa, say oh yay! Today I want to talk about house hunting again. Okay, what you don't know about house hunting, guys? Scammers, conmen, name it, especially if you've never looked for a house before, or if by chance you were not scammed or conned in any way. You have to watch this video till the end. Oh my god, I'm talking from my own experience. I made a video, I think a month ago or a few weeks back, and I posted it, how I had gotten a house, but what happened after. Now the story is going to continue from what I talked about then to what I'm going to talk about now. So if you're done watching this video, you can go back to that video of how I got a house. Actually, the title was Yes, I Got a House, but you won't believe what happened. Okay, something happened, guys. Hey, my god. Let me take you back. I think let me just give you a brief, an overview of what I talked about in that video. I had gotten an apartment somewhere very nice, somewhere I liked. I loved this apartment, like somewhere, an apartment where you just go to and you're like, this is it, and I was willing to pay for it. So in the evening I withdrew cash, and when I was on my way going there with cash to pay, the broker calls me and tells me, oh madam, I'm sorry, the house has been taken by an Eritrean. Yeah, the guy has already paid. So in my heart I'm like, oh, probably this broker has been given like good commission compared to what I was going to give him. That's why he gave the house to an Eritrean. Guess what? Guess what, guys? Now, this is the part 2 now. What happened just a few days ago? Can you imagine, after a month? So I'm there just 2 days ago, and I am resting. You know how you want to rest and you don't even want to move out, and I received a phone call from a random number. I didn't even know this broker because I had not really looked for houses with him, but I think he got my number from another broker. You see how they keep recommending and sharing your numbers. So this guy calls me and tells me, madam, how are you? I'm like, I'm okay. There is this house here, can you come and check it? I'm like, are you very sure this house has what I'm looking for in my budget? And he tells me, yes, you're going to pay for this house. And I'm like, I was so lazy, I didn't want to leave my home. Trust me, I didn't want to leave home. I'm like, I don't really want to come, but if you're saying this house has it all, let me come. So I risk myself. I dress up and go. This broker takes me somewhere, and by the way, when they're taking you to check houses, you have to pay some money for their services. So I tell him, I first brief him once again, and I'm like, boss, if you're taking me to a house and what you've told me is not there, I'm not paying you a penny. And it's like, no madam, it doesn't work like that. You have to give me like some money for moving around with you and all that. I'm like, I've told you, I've warned you in advance. Okay, so he takes me to this house. Even before reaching to the house, the road that takes you to the house, I was very disappointed. Then when I reached the gate and then I looked at the compound, I was very disappointed. So he calls me and is like, you come and check the house, you come inside, don't look at what is out, come inside. I told him, I even stood at the gate, I didn't even enter inside the gate. When I saw the compound, I told him, you know what, I'm not even coming inside to look at that house, because you know what exactly I'm looking for. Why would you take me to such a house? So I didn't even waste my time to go inside to check out that house, because indeed it's not what I wanted from the outside. You get? So I think it was like, I'm going to miss money here. So I have to think of something so very fast. So he's like, okay, let me take you somewhere else. You go and check our house. I'm like, it's okay, let's go. But I was really disappointed and biased already. So out of the blue, guys, this guy takes me to the house that I saw a month ago. I reached there and I'm in shock. I'm like, what? was here a month ago, and the other broker told me this house was paid by an Eritrean. Guys, the house was never taken. The house was still there, and actually this apartment was still there, and there was another one just next to it that someone had just moved out like few days, so there were two. You could just make a choice. I'm like, so this, the other broker wanted to make money out of me, but because I was sharp enough, he didn't make money out of me. But this time round, guys, I was going to make a loss. I was going to lose a lot of money. So when I checked the house, the broker asked me that, how much were you supposed to pay last time? I tell him, why don't you tell me how much they're telling you? And he's like, you tell me. I'm like, no, you tell me how much they're telling you for me to pay this house. Besides, you know my budget, so why even asking? So I checked the house. Of course, I wasn't like excited because I already knew or had a clue of the house already. So he tells me they want this much, and I'm like, no, but the last time I was here, they told me this much, not what you're telling me. Then it's like, okay, let me try to call the landlord and talk to the landlord. So this broker guy calls the so-called landlord, who is not even actually the landlord of that place, when I got to find out. And it's like, oh, you could even hear like in the background talking to someone, oh, how are you, boss? How much is this house? And then the guy is like, this much. Then I'm like, in my heart, I'm like, something is fishy here. And then the broker tells me, but since you like the house so much, let me go and meet the landlord, because the landlord was saying I should pay 6 months, and I insisted I am going to pay for 4 months because I cannot pay 6 months. From my experience, anything can happen and you can want to leave the house, but when you've paid your money, sometimes it is so hard for the landlord to give you back your money. So I'm like, I'm paying for 4 months. So this broker tells me, okay, since you like the house, let me go and talk to the landlord physically. I know where he works, then I'll give you feedback in the evening. So that evening, he didn't give me feedback. I was like, anyway, I know the story of that house. Like, I was 50-50, you know, though the apartment was nice, though I was 50-50 because of the previous experience. So the next day at around 10:30 p.m., the broker calls me and is like, Madam, how are you? I'm like, I'm okay. I talked to the landlord and he was still insisting that he needs 6 months, but he told me that I should give him your number so that he calls you. I'm like, okay. So guys, today I was there at work, working, minding my business. A new number calls me. The guy calls, and then I pick, I answer, and he's like, hi, how are you? I'm like, I'm okay. Is this the lady that was looking for a house? I'm like, yeah. Now you see that house, we have to first paint it. You have to give us 6 months. I'm like, no, I have 4 months. I keep insisting. And then out of the blue, the guy says, it is okay. You can come with your cash in the evening. I'm trying to rush because I don't want this video to be long. But guys, I need you to learn something out of this. You need to be so sharp. You need to be so sharp. Otherwise, you can be conned. You can be scammed. So he tells me, come with the money in the evening to clear the house, but you leave us to paint to make it look nice. But in my heart, I'm like, this house doesn't really need painting. It's still okay. In my heart, good, because when you leave it for them to paint, you leave the key and all that. But I'm like, okay. But immediately after hanging up, after I talked to the landlord, the so-called landlord who was fake, and hanging up, immediately I hung up like this. Guys, my heart, my spirit just told me something is wrong. My heart started pumping. Yeah, I even wanted to go to the washrooms, if you can understand what I mean. Like, I knew something was wrong. These people want to scam me. Immediately I discerned and knew this was wrong. It was wrong. I felt so bad. My stomach was red, like I was shaking. I knew something was wrong. So I'm like, since I am very sure something is wrong, I need to go and do my due diligence there. So I called the office attendant at work. I'm like, you know what, since you're also that kind of guy who knows stuff so much, why don't I go with you to this place so that we do our due diligence and find out really, is this landlord fake or is the real landlord? So I tell this office attendant, let's go together. We got on a border, went there. When I reached, I had to knock on someone's door. Of course, downstairs, there are people who are already renting. So I had to just knock on one door downstairs, and this lady comes out. She's a Sudanese lady. So I'm like, hi, madam, how are you? I'm okay. Yeah, I'm going to be renting upstairs, but I would like you to help me with the landlord's phone number so that I call him. I want to pay. So the lady tells me, I've been here for like 3 months. I don't really know the landlord that much, but I know his name is called Salongo, and he has a shop somewhere down there. So I'm like, okay. And then I see the caretaker come down and it's like, oh, how are you, Nyabo? Have you come to pay for this house? And I'm like, yeah, but I need the landlord's phone number. So this caretaker, the last time I came with this broker, he was not there. So the caretaker gets a number and gives me a number, a different number from the other number that the other so-called landlord called me on. I even get more suspicious and I'm like, what the heck? This is not happening to me right now. The numbers were different, very different. So I get the number and I tell this office attendant that, you know what, you're the one who is going to call this landlord and talk to him. You're going to act like you're a broker, that you brought someone to pay. Because when we went down to his shop, he wasn't there. So we call the guy, now the real landlord picks and is like, oh my god, this guy speaks so eloquently, and you could tell that, yeah, this is genuine. You know, when someone, anyway, I don't know, I can explain it, but if you're listening so well, you can tell from someone who is fake and someone who is genuine. If you're listening, you can understand, you can tell. So the way this landlord spoke was, yeah, so mind-blowing, and I was so impressed. I in my heart, I was like, this is the real landlord. So he tells me, you guys have come to pay. And I'm like, yeah, we've come to pay. But this number here, is it yours? The guy tells me, no, madam, that's not my number. I don't know who you were talking to, but this house costs this much, not what they told you. And I'm like, okay. So you mean what they told me, what the fake landlord told me, is not the cost of the house? It is this much. He tells me, yes, madam, you're going to be scammed for nothing. Guys. So their plan was, I was going to come. They told me I was going to sign a contract. They were going to give me a receipt. Yeah. So if you're not so keen, you will sign a contract. They'll give you a receipt, but not all of that is genuine. They can get a street lawyer who they'll pay like 50,000 Ugandan shillings, and you think everything is genuine. You get your contract, you sign, you get a receipt, and you think, oh my god, you've gotten a house, the one you've left painting. The next day you go back there with your things, my dear, guy, you're scammed. Guy, you're scammed. Your heart and money has gone, So you have to be careful when you're looking for a house. If you get a broker and they take you there, come back alone. When the broker is not aware, come back and ask the people who stay around, who is the landlord. Get to meet the landlord before you pay for the money. Before you pay for your rent. Because if you don't, you'll pay money to Conmen, you'll pay money to these scammers, and you'll make a loss without you not knowing. I have seen people also, like, they've scammed many people, especially this side of Boziga, Bunga. These Eritreans or foreigners are so many this side. So they scam them. Someone will come and deposit money on the landlord's account, get this receipt, take a picture, and send a conman, the so-called landlord, and immediately they see the receipt, the money is transferred, and their phones are switched off. You cry, you go to police, you go and spend money to police, and still they won't get these people. They are so sharp. So at the end of the day, it will be your loss. So with me, this was my experience. I wasn't caught off guard. That's the truth. I wasn't caught off guard. I was so intentional. I knew something was wrong, and I thank God, because yeah, If it didn't come through for me, I was going to spend, I was going to make a loss. So I hope you've learned something when it comes to house hunting. Be so careful. Even when you're rich and you have money to waste, don't just waste it like that. Be so careful. People are here to make money. People are here to make a living. They will do anything to scam you or con you out of your money. And trust me, it will hurt you. Anyway, that was my experience today. So I wanted to come here and share with you guys. And make sure I give this video a thumbs up, subscribe, and tell someone who is house hunting. You can recommend for them this video or share this video so that they get to learn one or two things. And they have to be sharp and so intentional about whatever is going on. Okay, don't pay anyone money to take you somewhere to visit when they're showing you things you don't even understand. You have to be careful. Okay, see you in my next one. I love you all. God bless you.